showed up with the bread pudding on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
And now
I'm pretty sure it was Wednesday, yeah.
And now finally the door's open and you're inside the house with the bread pudding.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the first time you do. When was that?
I'll say one more time, on Wednesday or Thursday, I think it was the day before George's birthday, whenever that was.
Okay, this is in September or October?
Again, whatever.
You don't remember what month?
No. Probably October, maybe. Okay. Again, that's just a guess.
So the first,
no, actually, would that been earlier than that? No, it had been before October. I don't know the date.
All right, now, when you got in there with the bread pudding, how long were you in the house?
Okay. If I knew I was going to be able to see these questions, I'd have kept a record, but probably 15, 20 minutes maybe. Maybe a little bit longer, but probably 20 minutes maybe.
Were you kind of curious looking around in there and seeing, here's where they live, and here's where Casey lived, and here's where Kaylee was? And
No.
Because you're a pro. And
yeah, pretty much. I mean,
What did you all talk about that night when you brought the bread pudding?
Just basically, she had never tried it, and we took it out in the kitchen. She tried it. She liked it. We went down to the living room after a few minutes, sat down, watched a little bit of a show on television for a few minutes, and then we said good night, and I left.
That was it.
Mm-hmm. No big deal.
Okay. Now, how many times do you think you were physically with Dominic Casey?
Oh. Gosh. Then I'd have to, let me think. Physically with him. 20 some odd times, I guess.
Okay.
Again, I'm just figuring, Friday and Saturday for, it's going to be like, 8 or 10 weeks, and then a couple days at the hotel, and then 2 days in November.
Did he ever ask you to do anything?
He never asked me to do anything. Yeah.
What did he ask you to do?
Asked me to go with him. Asked me to go with him to find Kaylee's body.
Is that the first time he ever asked you to do anything?
Yeah, actually.
Okay.
Let me rephrase that. Other than, are you coming down? I'd really like to have you come down this weekend. There's a lot of people here. Things would be like, just the general, like I mentioned earlier. Yeah.
But he never asked you to do any investigation work?
Oh, yes, sir.
No?
Yes, sir.
And until you all went to look for the body?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And was it your did he ever tell you I'm being paid for this? I'm being paid for this?
He told me, let me think how to rephrase this. He just told me that he had invested a lot of time and a lot of money into it himself, and he hadn't received any funds during the time I knew him.
To your knowledge, has he ever received any funds?
Not to my knowledge.
I'm going to end here, and then we'll let him change tapes for a minute. You have been, on December 18th of 2008, you were interviewed by Sergeant John Allen. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you remember that interview?
For the most part.
Okay. Was he with Orange County Sheriff?
Yes, sir.
And what was the purpose of his interview with you?
To get information why we were in that area on November the 15th and 16th.
Okay. We'll switch tapes.
Sure. This is a break.
Time is.
You got to use the restroom?
No, I'm fine.
Off record. Time is 11:16. We're back.
That's coming later. I want to kind of jump around a little bit in interest of time to get you out of here.
Thank you.
There came a time where the whole crew, you, and I use the word crew loosely, you, Dominic Casey, some people from ABC News, the Anthonys, Jose Baez, all ended up at the Ritz-Carlton here in Orlando.
Yes, sir.
How did it come that you all ended up at the Ritz-Carlton?
Well, as I said earlier, Dominic and I had a conversation. He asked me to meet him at behind Bennigan's in Orlando near the airport. And so after I met him, I said, "What's going on?" There were a couple of police. There were a couple of, I think it's Orange County police. There was a couple. There were several people there, and a limousine sitting there. And Dominic told me that George and Cindy were on the way, and for me to follow the limousine. He asked me to help, crowd control and just things I do. And I said, "That's fine." So after probably I was there 15, 20 minutes maybe, and a police van pulled up. And they got out. George put some luggage in the back of the. Anyway, that's not important. But anyway, they ended up getting in the limousine and driving out to the Ritz-Carlton. And I followed them out there.
Is this when they come back after the body has been found?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So they had been in California.
Yes, sir.
They were on the Larry King Live. Larry King?
I didn't know where they were.
But then they got the news that their granddaughter body had been found, so they flew back.
Oh, they got news that body had been found, yeah.
And then when they flew back, Dominic asked you to be there to meet them at the Bennigan's.
Yes, sir.
And then you all went from the Bennigan's to where?
To the Ritz-Carlton Hotel.
Who all was there behind the Bennigan's when you got there?
Dominic was there. There were two, I think, two police officers in two different vehicles, unmarked vehicles, and there was another young fellow I'd been introduced to that I don't remember his name. That was supposed to be a private investigator also.
Okay.